Thanks, that's it for now. Join me next time and I'll show you lots more applications.